Hey, this is Daryl Olson from the Jackson Fishing Team, and our third fly in the series of saltwater flies for redfish, speckled trout, snook, whatever that swims around there, maybe flounder, who knows. Just a reminder, we're getting these patterns out of fly patterns by fishing guides. They're kind of like guide flies. They're nice and easy. There's 200 flies in this book. I think half of them, 100 of them are trout freshwater flies, and the other 100 are saltwater flies. So, great little book in there. So, we're going to tie with a fly called the Click-Clack, and when I show you the fly, you'll probably understand why it's called that. But let's see what the fly looks like. The fly that we're going to tie, the Click-Clack. The Click-Clack was designed by Noel out of Louisiana, and of course, you know the color we're going to tie it. Kind of looks kind of blue right here, but it's actually purple and Chartreuse. You know, I guess that gives you a hint, but it gets its name by the fact that this bead's kind of secured in place, and this one here bounces against it and bounces against the eye, creating a click-clack type thing. And we'll cover the materials. And I'm not sure if you can hear that. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start tying it. The hook that we're going to use is a Mustad curved streamer hook in a size 2. Originally the pattern was tied using a streamer circle hook, and I have not been able to locate one. And what's ideal about the circle hook is you wouldn't have to set the hook, you just let the fish swim off and he hooks himself just like normal on there. The other part of the materials will be the 2 bead eyes in 3/16. Copper is what I'm using. Use brass if you want. I did check it out. The beads will go over where the barb is on this, but again, I like to flatten mine and on there. And if you can see, there's a bigger opening here and a smaller opening there. We want the bigger opening going towards the hook bend. And the other reason for that is to secure that bead closest to the bend of the hook. It'll go over the tie-in point of the material, and we'll glue that to that material in there. Thread we're going to use is 140 Denier black, and normally we would start just behind the beads or at the hook, but we're going to actually start this thread towards the back of the bend of the hook because it's not much material. And the next piece of material we're going to put in is going to be some Marabou in Chartreuse. And I'm just gonna kind of separate this a little bit. So I can make a fuller tail. Because I'll probably put a couple bunches. And kind of cut right where that little V is right there. And then I'm going to wet that so it's easy to manage. And we're going to want that about the hook length. And we'll tie that in right on top of the hook. And don't go too far forward, because we want to be able to have those beads slide. And I'm just going to put a little bit more on there. So right where I've kind of cut this off here, I'm going to take some of these loose fibers right here. Just grab a bunch. And tear them off. And make sure they're about the same length, and tie those in there just to give it a little bit more body. I got one that's a little long. I'm just going to, instead of cutting it, I'm just going to take a fingernail there and kind of pinch it so it looks like it's raggedy, so that they're about the same length on there. Next is purple Estaz. And I'm going to clean off some of this fiber right here. And I'm going to advance my thread and stop it where it looks like I've got a bead gap from the end of the thread to the back part of this bead. And that's as far as I'm going to want to go, and then I'm just going to wrap my Estaz to that point, occasionally just pulling back so I'm not trapping too many fibers. So the click-clack, the clicking of the bead kind of works like when you're using a popping cork in conventional fishing gear, using a popping cork with either a bait under it or and artificial, and every time you pop that cork it clicks, clacks. Well, that kind of like imitates possibly the sound of shrimp on the water, on top of the water popping. And we'll trim this off. We're not using too much of this. And we'll give it a 5-turn whip finish. You can see this is a pretty easy tie. No wonder it's a guide fly. I guess the guide tie a bunch of these up. And we'll just put 5 turns here. I could do another one, but you know, I'm going to be covering it up with that bead. I'm going to use a little super glue. You know, the original recipe calls for a Sally Hansen. And I'm just going to use super glue just to, I'm going to jam that up into there. And that's why you want that taper down. Kind of jam and twist it. And that's it. That's the fly. Not much to it. So pretty easy fly for saltwater. You know, you can tie them up with a black body and maybe a yellow tail. Change up the type of beads. Maybe a black bead might be good. You know, I don't know. But maybe just use whatever color combinations you want. So again, this is a pretty easy tie we did in there. Again, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's click-clacking. It's what attracts the fish to it. So I'll be trying it this summer here for redfish and trout or whatever. But might even tie some up in black and yellow. Try that, or maybe a black body with a purple marabou. I don't know. That seems to be a popular color around here. So that's all I got. We will we'll see you on the water and maybe give this fly a try. Tie it up. Let me know what you think. All right. See you on the water. Bye.